Elephants feel more deeply than most animals we know. They mourn their dead, comfort the living, and carry memories for decades. They're the largest land animals alive today, weighing up to 7 tons, with a brain heavier than a human child. With powerful trunks, intricate social bonds, and astonishing intelligence, elephants blur the line between instinct and emotion. And while they once roamed freely across continents, today they face shrinking habitats, ivory poachers, and rising conflict. In this video, we explore what makes elephants truly remarkable, and why their future matters more than ever. If you enjoy stories like this, consider liking the video and subscribing. It helps the channel grow and brings more wild stuff to curious minds like yours. Elephants are the undisputed giants of the land. The African savanna elephant is the largest living land mammal, with bulls reaching shoulder heights over 3.3 meters and weighing up to 7 tons. 3 species roam Earth today: the massive African savanna elephant, the smaller forest elephant of Central Africa, and the Asian elephant. All share iconic trunks, massive bodies, and large ears to dissipate heat. Their brains are the largest of any land animal, about 5 kilograms, and their memories are legendary. Elephants communicate using deep rumbles below human hearing, sending messages across kilometers. In one study, elephants traveled straight to a waterhole 50 kilometers away that they hadn't visited in years. But their intelligence isn't just spatial. They live in complex family units led by experienced matriarchs. They grieve their dead and help raise one another's young, and they are ecosystem engineers. They dig waterholes used by other species, knock down trees to open up grasslands, and spread seeds in their dung. In doing so, they help maintain a delicate balance between forest and savanna, and shape entire landscapes in the process. For over 60 million years, elephants and their ancestors have thrived where many others vanished. Today, their survival depends on whether we can make room for them in a world we increasingly dominate. The elephant's trunk is one of the most remarkable tools in the animal kingdom. It's a fusion of nose and upper lip, made up of around 40,000 muscles, more than the entire human body. With it, elephants can tear down branches or gently lift a newborn calf. African elephants have 2 finger-like tips at the end of their trunk. Asians have 1. These allow for astonishing dexterity. Elephants use their trunk to breathe, drink, smell, touch, and communicate. Sensitive to pressure and vibration, it's both a tool and a sense organ. Their tusks, actually elongated in sizes, grow throughout life and are used for digging, stripping bark, or moving obstacles. In African elephants, both sexes usually have tusks. In Asian elephants, only the males typically do. Their ears, especially in African species, are enormous cooling systems. Packed with blood vessels, they release heat when flapped. Their skin, up to 3 centimeters thick, is covered in wrinkles that help retain moisture. Elephants coat themselves in mud or dust to protect against sun and insects. It's not for fun, it's survival. Even their feet are specialized. Despite their size, elephants walk nearly silently. Thick pads beneath each foot absorb shock and distribute weight. Inside, a toe-like bone helps support their mass. Their molars, 6 sets throughout their lives, grind down vegetation. When the final set wears out, elephants can no longer feed and eventually die from starvation. Evolution has shaped every part of them for strength, endurance, and precision. Elephants are among the most intelligent animals on Earth. Their brains contain highly developed neocortexes, regions associated with decision-making, memory, and self-awareness. They've passed the mirror test, a scientific experiment in which an animal is marked with paint and placed in front of a mirror to see if it recognizes the mark on its own body. This rare ability, shared only by great apes, dolphins, magpies, and a few others, indicates a sense of self. In the wild, matriarchs remember distant water sources for decades. Elephants recognize individuals after years apart and may linger over the bones of lost companions. But their intelligence is deeply social. They care for injured herd members, comfort the distressed, and grieve the dead. Mothers, aunts, and sisters raise calves together. In one documented case, a herd covered a fallen matriarch with leaves and stood vigil through the night. These aren't just instinctual reactions. They're evidence of empathy, memory, and emotion. Elephants aren't just smart, they feel deeply. And their lives unfold within a social structure as rich and complex as our own. This applies not only to African elephants, but also to their Asian cousins. While fewer long-term studies exist for Asian elephants, observations confirm that they also display empathy, problem-solving skills, and a strong memory for people and places. Both species use tools, learn from experience, and form deep bonds. Elephants live in matriarchal family groups. Mothers, daughters, aunts, and grandmothers moving together across the landscape. The oldest female, the matriarch, leads with experience, not force. She knows where to find water, how to avoid danger, and when to move on. Herds are typically made up of 5 to 25 individuals, often spanning 3 or more generations. Males leave the group in adolescence, while females stay for life. Within the herd, responsibilities are shared. Aunts babysit calves so mothers can rest. Grandmothers guard the rear on long migrations. Every member plays a role, and every calf grows up surrounded by guidance and protection. Matriarchs pass down hard-earned knowledge, migration routes, drought strategies, birth sites. Studies show that herds led by experienced matriarchs survive tough seasons more successfully. The strength of elephant society lies not just in numbers, but in continuity, in bonds that span lifetimes. While much of this has been documented in African elephants, Asian elephants also live in female-led groups, though typically smaller and more flexible. Because they inhabit denser forest environments, their herds often split and reunite over time, and males may remain in loose contact with family groups longer than their African counterparts. Elephants communicate across senses: sound, touch, scent, even vibration. Their infrasonic rumbles, too low for humans to hear, travel for kilometers and can carry messages like "I'm here" or "danger nearby." These calls are powerful, over 100 decibels, and can bring a distant family member back to the herd. At closer range, elephants trumpet, rumble, squeal, and growl. Each sound has a purpose: to reassure a calf, call the herd to move, or signal alarm. Every elephant has a unique voice and even ritualized phrases. They also speak through touch. Calves greet mothers by intertwining trunks or touching cheeks. Adults stroke, lean on, or entwine tails with close companions. Trunk hugs after separation are common. These gestures strengthen social bonds and communicate emotion without a single sound. Body language adds another layer. A raised head and wide ears signal dominance. Lowered posture shows submission. Even posture shifts. Tiptoeing, dust kicking, send signals that others instantly read. Elephants have one of the strongest senses of smell on Earth. Chemical signals in urine, breath, or secretions tell others about identity, mood, and reproductive status. A male in must can be detected from far away just by scent. Finally, elephants are masters of vibration. Their feet and trunks are packed with receptors that pick up seismic signals. From distant rumbles to approaching footsteps, they can literally feel each other through the ground. It's a language built not just on sound, but on sensation, subtle, complex, and deeply connected. Elephants survive in some of the world's most challenging environments. From scorching savannas to dense tropical forests. With no sweat glands, they rely on large ears and mud baths to stay cool. Dust and water shield their skin from insects and sun. In dry seasons, they use memory to find hidden waterholes and shade, sometimes digging riverbeds to access groundwater. A single elephant can drink 100 liters a day and eat up to 150 kilograms of vegetation. Because their digestion is inefficient, they spend up to 18 hours a day foraging. Their migratory paths can span hundreds of kilometers, time to follow the rains and track food and water. Reproduction is equally adapted. Elephants have the longest gestation of any land mammal, around 22 months. Calves are born into a circle of care, with older siblings, cousins, and aunts all helping raise them. Survival in the wild begins with family, and the transmission of knowledge from one generation to the next. But even evolution's greatest survivors are no match for human pressure. For decades, elephants were hunted for their tusks. At the height of the ivory trade, hundreds of thousands were killed. And although international bans exist, poaching continues, especially in areas where enforcement is weak and ivory demand remains strong. In some regions, elephants are now evolving without tusks, a tragic genetic response to decades of selective killing. But the threats don't end with poaching. Expanding farmland, roads, and development fragment habitats and cut off migration routes. When elephants wander into croplands looking for food or water, the results are often deadly, for elephants and people alike. Each year, hundreds of lives are lost to this growing conflict, especially in India, Sri Lanka, and parts of Africa. And then there's the tourism industry. All around the world, well-meaning travelers encounter elephant attractions that offer rides, baths, and selfies. But what many don't realize is that elephants used for entertainment often endure violent training, social isolation, and chronic stress. If you come across an elephant you can touch, ride, or bathe, it's not a sanctuary. True sanctuaries don't allow contact, because they respect the animal's autonomy. If you've supported these attractions in the past, don't blame yourself. Awareness takes time, but now you know. And with every future choice, you can stand on the side of protection, not exploitation. Hope isn't lost. Across Africa and Asia, elephant numbers are slowly stabilizing in areas where communities, governments, and conservationists work together. GPS collars, drone patrols, ranger training, and early warning systems are making a difference. So are beehive fences, chili walls, and education programs that help local people protect both their crops and wildlife. In places like Kenya, Namibia, and Thailand, community-led projects are turning former poachers into protectors. And globally, public awareness has never been higher. Elephants are more than animals. They're symbols of memory, of wisdom, of what it means to live in balance. Where elephants walk, the earth can breathe easier. To protect them is to protect a way of life. One where strength is measured by care and survival by connection. A world with elephants is wilder, it's wiser, and it's worth fighting for. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay curious and keep exploring.